Forgive my Deshabille state, still recovering from a hard fall. In the meantime, I thought I'd start a series since I've waited this long in my life, and I won't be living that much longer, I don't imagine. And I thought at some point I'd get around to writing some sort of a memoir, or at least memories to share with my daughter, but no one seems interested, and I haven't made the effort. So why not just do it in snippets in video form for the, what is the word, delectation of all? So this is a series called Celebrated People Whom I've Encountered. It's a comic series because the encounters are always insignificant, and the subject of the encounter would not recall me at all, because I was always in a position of meeting a celebrated person while being not only uncelebrated, but obscure, and in some cases, reviled. So we'll just start the ball rolling. Feel free to write me in a comment and just ask, have you ever met this person? And I'll be able to connect it one way or another, or not. So, perusing the obituaries, we see Françoise Gilot. Françoise Gilot was a minor painter who famously lived with Pablo Picasso, and when she broke off from him, he vindictively prevented her from being shown in any gallery that would have shown his work. I don't know the details of their relationship. I didn't read her memoir of their relationship. She may have written as many as 3 books about him. But I know that she continued painting and had a significant career. Supposedly she has works that are worth over $1 million, but I don't know if those works are worth $1 million, or whether they were painted during a period that was significant for some secondary reason. I don't know. I just see some feminists who are, writing complaints in the papers how her death, prompted subheads or headlines, muse of Picasso or lover of Picasso, as if she wasn't a significant person in her own right. And she did, in fact, continue to paint many, many years after. But whether she's a Lee Krasner is another story. At any rate, I was selling Encyclopedia Britannica, and I got it in my head, why not sell the Encyclopedia Britannica to illustrious people, since I was living in New York City? And I would call up somebody, try to get hold of somebody. Interestingly, John Simon, who was a famously severe and a demanding critic, and was capable of savagery in his writing, was exceedingly polite and allowed me to come over to show him, although I didn't present it well, and his wife put the kibosh on the purchase. But a lesser critic, a mediocre critic, Clive Barnes, who had been a dance critic, then a theater critic, and was a second-rate writer, he treated me very poorly on the phone, basically saying, and even if I were going to get the encyclopedia, I would get it in some other way, rather than, in other words, being called by some vulgar salesman who was going to bring it to me. I don't know how he would have gotten it. If he wanted to get an Encyclopedia Britannica, he would have called the New York office, and they would have handed off a visit to someone like me or me, and we would visit and sell him the Britannica. Anyway, he was very unpleasant. But in the case of Françoise Gilot, I simply botched it. I was nervous, and I didn't quite have a grasp of who she was. I knew she had written this book, but I somehow fumbled my introduction, and she quickly got annoyed by my incompetence and hung up on me. But I did manage to speak on the phone for 2 minutes to Françoise Gilot, and that puts me on the scoreboard.